and welcome to another episode of This is Australia. And we bring you this episode also from Corfu, but we're just standing at a place with this spectacular view. Now this is called the Mouse Island, Pondikonisi in Greek, and it means the Mouse Island, but it's not really from the mouse, it's from the Pontos, which means the sea. We're going to talk in a minute about Pondikonisi because that's the trademark of Corfu. Like we see the Harbour Bridge in Sydney and the Opera House, this is Corfu. Now this is a different view, but the view that you see now is a normal view that we see, including the monastery down at the end over there. But what we're going to do today, we're going to just introduce you to some amazing Corfu food that you don't find in many other places around the world, and even around Greece. Believe it or not, this island has its own recipes, and some of them, they're quite different. Like for example, we can cook snake here as well. We're going to show you later on how we're going to cook the snake, but the snake, it's a sea snake, okay? It's not the land snake, it's a sea snake. One piece of advice, this time of the year we have a lot of problems with wasps, like this one here, you see. So what they want, if they just want to eat something, so just get a little piece of meat. They love meat. They're not bees. The bees are out there in the flowers. Look at the bougainvillea, beautiful. Just take a piece of meat and just put it somewhere. They just wait. They're just hungry, they want to eat something. Just give them a little bit and they will leave you alone, okay? Now this one here doesn't leave you alone. Another piece of advice is when you are cooking this kind of meat, make sure you use the olive oil that comes out of ripe olives, the black olives. The green olives are not ripe like anything, any fruit, and the black olives are ripe. The green olive oil that comes from the green olives, we use it in our salads because it's very tasty and a little bit peppery. This one, we use it with our food, okay? The golden brown color. That's made from ripe olives. Now, before we start, let's have a look. A little bit of a diet tip. Okay, now, how can you use 2,000 calories in one night? 1, 2, 3. You don't know? Well, last night I lost 2,000 calories. You know why? I just burned the pizza. I didn't eat the pizza, so I didn't put on 2,000 calories. Good one, eh? Now, another one. The balanced diet. What is a balanced diet? Balanced diet, you have to make sure that your diet is balanced, especially when you're here in Corfu. Just, you know what I mean? Balanced diet, what does it mean? For me, what it means, I mean, they have this beautiful pita here with this beautiful sauce, not tzatziki, the red sauce. It's out of this world. When you come to Corfu, you make sure you have to try it. So what is my balanced diet? One of this pita yellow thing in its hand. Balanced diet. You got it?
I went to a specialist and I said, I want advice. I want to lose weight. And you know what she said to me? You have to be careful. You have to have a balanced diet. So I follow her advice. I come here to Giradico now and I have my balanced diet. My balanced diet is €1 on its hand. Balanced diet.
Now let's get into this. Okay, now what do you got in here? I'll show you. Did you see this? Now you have to be careful with those things because they sting you, and they sting you not once but many times, and they don't die. Now look at this. A traditional Corfu way to cook, it's the gastra. This is a gastra. Now this one here is too small and we cannot use it because we have a lot of food in here. So what we do is going to use a more modern one, which is this one here. You can see it here, right? So what happens when you use this kind of gastra, you put everything in here and you put it in the oven. So what happens, it gets to get boiled into your oven, and all the aromas and all the taste stays in here. It doesn't disappear. And then towards the end, you just take the lid off so you can just give it a little bit of that golden brown. Okay, now, what do we have here? Well, my meat is about that. And what it is, it's actually the chunks of the pork. So it's the lower part of the leg, right? So what I need is 3 onions, just whole like that, and few potatoes, maybe about 4 or 5. You can put more if you want, but for about 3 or 4 people this is enough, right? And then I just take garlic and I just chop it up very, very, very small pieces like that, and then just put a teaspoon of pepper and half a teaspoon of salt. I don't like too much salt in my food. I try not to, but you need to have some salt, otherwise you lose all the taste. Right, now next. Okay, what's next? So now that you know all about the ingredients, next thing is to just put it all together. The first thing I do though is I just use this into this big cuts that I made into the meat and just fill it right up. Ooh, you don't want to lose any of that. That's a whole taste out of this meat, this garlic and that pepper and that salt and olive oil. It's gonna be just incredible, I promise you. Okay, so basically you just fill in with that filling all the little cuts that I have made there, and then you just put it into the gastra. We actually finished this preparing this incredible meal here that we have for you today. And basically, I just put it all together. One good thing about this particular rasta is that it has a little rack down the bottom. You can see it. And basically, all the fats and everything like that, it would just go down the bottom. While it's still the aroma is going to be in it because it's going to be all closed down, the fat's going to be down there. So that's amazing. That all this fat, it's going to dissolve down there and you don't have to eat it. You still get the taste and the aroma, but not the fat. Yeah, you see? Now, basically it's very simple. You just put it all together here. You just put your pepper and your salt to taste, and it's ready. You just warm up your oven to around about 180 degrees, not too hot, and you go for it. But look at that. Look at that. Ready. Okay. Oh my goodness. You can smell all the aromas coming out of this one, the garlic and the pepper and oh, that's incredible. And you know what? Everything looks pretty well cooked. The potatoes, the onions, everything is just perfect. And look how all my juices are down at the bottom. So all my fat and that, if you don't like that, you can just stay down there. So let's have a taste. Ah, look at this now. This is how you can tell about good cooking. When your meat just disappears and it disintegrates when you actually pick it up with your fork. Look at that. Look at that. That's incredible. This is what I call the real Makeovi, the real cooking. Look at it. I bet you that tastes so delicious you just couldn't resist. Very simple, very effective, very tasty. Oh, is it? You wouldn't believe it. You wouldn't believe it. Oh my God, I can't stop eating this. This is amazing. Oh, you have to try it. Trust me. Well, if you make it to any of these Greek islands like this one here where we're at the moment in Corfu, one piece of advice. Just get yourself down to a local fishing port like this one here. Here you can see all the traditional Greek boats. Believe it or not, some of these boats, they just follow the same design from the ancient Greek boats. The same sort of design, the same construction, which is, you know, thousands of years old. And they use them for fishing boats. And if you come here around about lunchtime, 11 to 12 o'clock, you can catch these guys when they come out with a fresh catch. And unlike in Australia or America, where you have to buy your fish from the fish markets, you can buy your fish from these guys here. You know that it's 100% fresh. And of course, you're going to pay much less than if you actually go to the markets and buy from the markets. We're waiting now for fishermen to come, and we're going to just take some fish. We're going to try to see if we can show you some local recipes using fish, of course, and fresh fish. So while we're waiting, another piece of advice. when you come to Corfu or to many islands like Corfu, remember you can rent a boat and you can travel all around these beautiful islands. There's about 3 or 4 islands here in Corfu. Some of them are deserted. Some of them they have tavernas, and you can actually go there. You can take your boat, you can rent your boat. The boats do around about 25 nautical miles, not just 4 nautical miles like they do in Australia. They have bigger engines. You can rent a boat with a 30 horsepower engine. You can go quite fast. And it's a real good way to just see Corfu. And not just Corfu, any of the islands around Greece. So it's a good piece of advice. Get yourself a boat, get your friends together. You can get one, even up to 8 people you can put in a boat. And you can have really good fun for a day, or you can even rent it for a week. Also, if you want to hire a bigger boat, like for example, you can hire a big sailing boat, 28, 30, 40, 50, even 60 foot. And you can just sail all around the Ionian Islands or down the Aegean Islands. You can get yourself, for very little money, if you have 6 people or 8 people, you can rent yourself a boat for about $1,000, maybe $2,000 per week, which is not a lot of money when you think you have your accommodation, you have your kitchen, and you have your little hotel, the floating hotel, and you can travel all around these beautiful islands. And the difference with Australia is that you can rent one of these boats without a skipper. So you can learn the basics, how to just sail the boat, and you can take it yourself. Of course, if you're an experienced sailor, that's even better. And that's another point of difference. I think that it's very important that we feel more free in Australia as well, and in America, and are able to rent a boat like this, like they do here in many places in Greece. I think they do the same thing in Turkey and Italy. I think we need to learn some lessons from these people. And another area, just to give you an example, where you feel very regulated in Australia, is when you have a boat. You have a nice big boat and you're in a marina, right? Now, you're not allowed to stay in that boat for more than 26 days per year. Here in Greece or even Turkey or Italy or even Spain, you have a boat, you can stay in the marina for as long as you like. You might have a boat that is 70 foot, it's like a house, 100 foot. You're not allowed to stay in Australia permanently, which I think is wrong. I think it's wrong because these restrictions make Australia and America actually is pretty much the same on that respect, and they just make them very restrictive and you don't feel free. Well, you come here in the Mediterranean and you do feel that kind of freedom. So when you come to Greece, think about it. Just get yourself a boat and just go around sailing around the Mediterranean. You will love it, trust me. But now, I think our fisherman is coming, so better go and grab our fish. This is going to be something with a difference. The fish we're going to get this time is going to be really different. You never experienced anything like it. Now, we're going to show you how to cook a snake. Snake. It is. Look. What's this? Look at it. Whoop, it's coming up. What's that? Isn't it a snake? Well, this is actually a sea snake. Have a look at this. It's just a sea snake, and the bone structure is very, very, very good and very strong. But it has a lot of very small, tiny little bones right through the meat, the muscle. So what we have to do now, it's a technique that they used back in the very old days. And we're gonna take the little bones out and get them down to the tail. They call it armegma in Greek, but in English it's like milking. It's like milking a cow. Now, what we have done here, we're just taking a cane, we cleaned it, and then we just split it. And there you have it. Perfecto. Now, what we do is we just put our snake between this and we pull down. Well, we discovered that you really have to open it up in order to get the bones down. And you know what? You can hear it. You can feel it. You can hear the bones cracking into here. It's incredible. So you make sure you do that before you put your snake, your sea snake into the casserole. So once we just get it clean, we just cut it in small pieces like this. You can see now the size. Now, you can see some of the bones I was telling you about. Most of the bones are gone, but you can see them here. Look at that. Now, some of them are very, very fine, much more finer than that. That's why you need to get rid of them. First thing we have to do, the ingredients, very simple. Lots of nice red pepper and black pepper, olive oil for cooking. First thing we have to do is we have to just use our cooking oil. Our cooking oil is olive oil, but it's made out of the ripe olives. Remember, the green olives, they make green olive oil. The golden color is from the ripe ones. Use your green olive oil for your salads and this one for your cooking. It's really good because it's sweeter, because the olives are ripe. So we just put some olive oil, and then we just take the onion, we just throw that in, and we just put that on very slow fire. So we use plenty of olive oil and our onion, and then we're just waiting for it to just melt nicely. I tell you when it's ready. That's very nice. That's pretty much ready. So we're just now going to place our fish in here, and we're going to leave it for about a minute on the side, and then we turn it the other way around. Let's see. So our fish is ready now to cook. And now it's time to just start throwing your pepper all over the place. And we also just use 1 spoonful of black pepper. We add 1 just glass of water. And then we just mix it again. Always just try to use a wooden spoon if you can. We just put the lid on and we just let it boil. And now it's time to eat the snake. We have a visitor already. But hang on a sec, this is cooked, you don't like this. Go and eat the raw meat over there. Good girl. Remember the wasps? Just put a little bit of meat or a little bit of fish over there so they can eat, and they will leave you alone. Easy. Look at them, eating it, cutting it, and then grabbing it and take it to their families. So just share your food. Doesn't matter, a little bit. You're not going to miss it. Now, this is it. Now, I'll open this up and look. Oh, this unbelievable aroma. It's incredible. Look at that. This is our fish. Oh my God. I think I might cook it a bit too much. It's melted away. Now, let's grab a piece. Okay. This is it. Look at that. There's a bone in the middle here you have to get out. But now we have, hey, hang on. Go over there. Go over there. That's mine. I got your share over there. Oh, that's the cousin. Okay. And now it's time. There's a little bone there. See? Okay, there's a piece in here. Now this is a snake. Remember the snake that we cleaned the bones and we cut it up? But it's not a snake from the land. It's a snake, it's called drogos, I think, in Greek. It's not a snake. It's a fish. It's a fish. It's not a snake. It's a fish. It's a fish. It's a fish. It's a fish. It's not a snake. It's a fish. No, this is not happening. That's not real. This is... Oh my God. You just wouldn't believe. This is probably one of the best tastes that I had from anything that comes from the sea. It's incredible. I really can't believe it. There's a bone. You have to still be careful because every now and then there might be a little bone. All the system that we use, remember, it might not work. So make sure you just keep an eye on. Don't give it to the children. I suppose you wouldn't give a snake to the children, would you? But okay, now listen guys, this is really good. I have to go because I have a lot of food in here to eat. And actually the juices, I'm gonna use these juices later on, and I'm just gonna make some spaghetti, and I'm gonna use these juices into my spaghetti. That would be incredible. I'll show you. Oh no, I don't have to show you that. You know how to do it. Just don't throw the juices away. Actually, I like to take my bread and just dip it into the juice. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Oh, that's a bit of skin. That's all right. All right. Now, so when you come to Corfu, when you come to Greece, make sure you just grab yourself a snake or go to a shop that they sell it. It's unbelievable. Trust me. It's beautiful. Well, this is the end of the series, and tonight is the last night in Corfu. We're gonna be moving on to Athens next, but tonight I'm invited to a special night. Now, Corfu, it's renowned for its music culture. For example, it has 21 philharmonic bands, compared to the rest of Greece that it has 30 in the whole Greece. Athens has about 4. But tonight, I'm invited to this Latin night, and I'm gonna learn how to dance tango. Come on, come and join me. But we'll have to close it here, I'm afraid. We're just gonna close it with some beautiful music and some beautiful tango here in Corfu. Thank you for being with us with all the series, and we'll see you next time with more exciting footage from Athens and Sydney. Thank you for watching.